to all our wonderful viewers on Imagine Me TV. It is such a delight and a privilege to come to you over in, where are we? Fayetteville, Georgia. One of these days I'm going to say where we're going to be in the islands or something, okay? But wait, for now, we are still in the U.S. It's about, I think, 44 degrees outside, which is perfect weather for me. But this is Imagine Me TV, and it is a little after 8. We apologize that the show started a little late, but nevertheless, we have our special water over there, sparkling water, maybe sparkling wine. You're going to taste it for you to know. But anyway, what we need you to do right now, if you are on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are, go ahead and share this live. We're gonna have a really great conversation. These are two Caribbean queens, Dominica and Trinidad. We're just gonna have an open conversation. We're gonna talk about our nonprofit. We're gonna talk about the work that she's doing in Ghana, the work I'm doing in Dominica, the work that we're doing right there in Georgia and other places. And we're just gonna talk about some of our experiences. So guys, I want you to go ahead and share this. And we just want to say thank you to everyone. I know I'm just gonna name a few places that the show people have tuned in, and I apologize if I don't call it a country, but just let me know if I don't call it a country, we'll call it. But we have about, I think, 50 different countries, and that was like months ago that I checked it, so I don't even, it might be more now. Dominica, Jamaica, Antigua, Trinidad, Barbados, Africa, Canada, Europe, Italy, China, Belize. I cannot even say all the different places because we would be there forever. So we have a lot of different places where the show is being featured, and we just want to say thank you to everyone. And right now, if you're on Facebook, there's so many places that we are on. ImagineMeTV.net. Guys, we are on Clubhouse. Live you are Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Live Your Brand Limited, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn Live. So these are all the platforms that we are on. So go ahead and share this and invite someone. We're going to take a quick break, and when I come back, I will be talking with my sister, my friend, and one of the ladies that work together with me, and we support each other in each other's charity. So you are in for an amazing treat. Oh wow, you guys caught me drinking the blessed water.
Blessed water.
This is really good. Cheers. Well, you just never know what's gonna happen on Imagine Me TV. So always be prepared. But welcome to all our viewers all over the world. We're so happy that you guys have taken today to come and join us. It is such a pleasure. And I want to welcome my guest. Isn't she so beautiful? You are so beautiful, my sister.
Thank you very much.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Who did your makeup?
I did my own makeup.
See, so this is a gift that we have. We do our own makeup, our jewelry, our hair, and stuff like that. Man, I thank God for. I think as you grow older, you learn these things.
You learn that right there.
You know, sometimes we think our children are gonna do it all for us, but I must say that my children have helped me really well. Just that at certain times they're like, "Mom, this is how you do it."
Yeah, they do.
You know, and sometimes it's so subtle. I hope my daughter's not watching because this week I was asking her about doing some t-shirts and doing some prints, and she was so gentle and subtle about telling me how to do it myself. And I was like, but I'm very glad she did, because had she done it for me, I would not learn what I have learned. And now it's so much information that I learned something new. I'm like, oh wow, I can share this information with other people and help them start their own t-shirt business. So thank you, Alicia.
And
But
it's the same with my daughter too. Because sometimes when I ask her to do something, she's like, "Mommy, you could do it. So, go do it." And so it's not only your daughter. So.
And I guess that's what we did there too, because then we didn't do everything for them, because my kids, we show them how to do it at once, and we're like, you know what, you can figure it out, you can do it.
Yeah. So
so they come right back.
Just come right back. Cycle. Come back.
Yeah, but it's just a pleasure. I thank God for my children. They are just blessing, and now grandchildren and stuff like that. So God is good.
Yeah.
But guys, we have a lot to talk about. So we're gonna just jump right into it. This is pretty much, we're just having conversation. So we're just gonna maybe even interview each other, because she has her own show on Imagine Me TV. She have a show. Tell them about your show. Tell them about your show.
My show is If I Can, You Can Talk show, and it's about sharing like where I came from to where I'm at today. Being abused as a child, and took me like 45 years out of my life to really think and come to terms with it and be able to speak about it now. And I think that freed me now. I'm not ashamed to say that I was abused as a child, and all the hiccups I have. So that it's like a year, 2 years ago, I met Arthlene and we became friends. And I think she pushed, she pulled it out of me a little more to get on the show. And so that's how If I Can, You Can and stuff. So it's where I came from today, where I came from as a child and adult, and the businesses I do now, and how I'm out there helping others and empowering others to come out, especially women or children, and children too. But my part is the kids, because if we can talk to the kids early, if somebody touch you or somebody do something wrong to you, you can always find somebody to speak. Because for me, I did not speak, so that's why I started.
Wow, and we were going to talk about that too, because if I can, you can. And that's the thing. That's why a lot of times we go through challenges and we go through things in life, and sometimes we get discouraged, or sometimes we hide, and we just feel like it's the end of the world, or I've been through so much. And you are a good example of that. And then that's why you started the show. If I can, you can, because the stuff that you went through. And I know we're gonna just be jumping. And guys, this is an impromptu show. We just decide we both have our show on Imagine Me TV. It's the holidays. We're doing a lot for our organization, for our community. So we're just gonna chat. Next week we have an awesome guest, Vince Morris. He is I'll tell you guys about him more. But next week, just be sure, because I know you have a really great story. But even while he was saying that 45 years, and you did not speak about it. That is why we're telling our story, and we empowering other young women, young children. And when you said, my mind went back even to my country, because I know it's not even just here. This is happening all over the place. But even here, maybe we have a better chance of, if a child says that, hey, someone touched me, like if I tell it to a teacher, that they will call the authorities. They're not going to play with it, But I think, and that's just my opinion, that somehow I think in the islands it's not. I don't think that the youth or the people that it happened to has that freedom to share and say, you know what, someone did this to me. And that is one of the things we want to even help when we get down there, to those that are hurting and are not being abused, that they too can speak up.
So in the Caribbean, I can speak for my country where I grew up in Trinidad and Arthy. It has a saying that, and too, I heard it out here too, because a lot of retreats I went to, or speaking to people, it's like young ladies must be seen and not heard. So the thing about it, being a young lady, you whatever's happened to you, and your abuser is going to tell you can't talk about it, or you can't tell anybody. Yeah. Because then your parents don't believe you. They don't trust you. It's not like they don't trust you, but they don't believe you because you're a child, and that adult is always the one who's right. So even that abuser, you come and say, oh, this person touched me wrong. And when I look back at it, I'm maybe my mom, or maybe they will too. So it's something in a culture there. Now it's changed a lot. Yeah. Because kids can talk, but at my, when I was growing up, we couldn't talk about it. So it's That's why it took me 45 years. For
Wow.
me, I kept running.
Mm.
So it kept me running from, I was so happy to like, okay, I'm going to get married, I'm going to leave, I'm going to get married and get a kid, but that was the wrong reason.
Yeah.
Because I was running from it because I didn't talk about it. So you're going into disruptive, abusive marriages. I had my kids, it was abusive. So you think it's that you're leaving from one abuse to another abuse.
Mm.
You know, but one thing I'm happy about is that with me running, not leaving home and not just going out, but just getting married and having my kids, because I always say I'm going to have my kids one father, not all different. Because my mom had me when she was 16. I never knew who my dad was.
Wow.
Right? So my siblings too, you know, I'm not going to put them out there, but the six of us, we're not really sure who our dads was. So the thing about it, for me, I'm not going to repeat what my mom did. So when I look back now, maybe it happened. So it's come from generation. It probably happened to my mom. And
Yeah,
it goes
it
on
keeps
from
on
generation,
going.
it goes on to the kids. So I probably felt that probably I saved my sisters. I saved my siblings. I don't know because we didn't talk about it. They know now. Some believe, some don't, but they know now. So it's for me, what I really want to do, what I'm doing now, and what my, even going to Africa, when I see 13-year-old, 12-year-olds pregnant.
And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the Africa story, but what caused you though to step up and talk about the abuse? I mean, even as an adult, because you know a lot of times this thing happened. And even before you answer that question, I like something that you said, because she said that it happened to her mom, and she purpose in her mind it's not going to happen to her. And that what that brought me to, because a lot of times I see a lot of the news or different people, they blame parents when the kids do something. You know, say, well, the kids are doing that, or you know what, because my parents was abused, that's why I get abused. Because my mom was divorced, that's why I get divorced. It runs in the family. I'm not saying that there's not generational curses and stuff. My parents were not divorced, but I've been divorced. I have another sister that's been divorced. I have another brother. I have brothers. They might be on there. I don't know. They've been divorced like 2 times or 3 times, but and our parents were not. You know, so I'm glad that you said that you made that decision. That what happened to me, you know, or what I see happen to my parents, I'm not going to let that happen to me. So, but I'm going to try. But when you told your story, even after all these years, because someone would think, you know what, hey, it's 40 years, it's so long, just let sleeping dogs lie. But then you told it. What?
Because sleeping dogs, you say, as you say, sleeping dogs lie, let sleeping dogs lie. But what I realized, I was certain, and I could not be a good mother to my kids. I didn't know what was to. I had my kids, yes, but I didn't know what their mother was. And I was certain in my own way that some things, like, I still felt like I was a child and not that grown, you know. And I went to a retreat. And for me, my thing is that when I had my kids, I left Trinidad and Tobago. I was in my 20s. And I did accomplish a lot of stuff. I bought a house, I did all that. But I still wanted more. I still was running from the pain, the hurt, the country that I lived in. And I could still, every time I think, I can still see it, I can still feel it. But I still couldn't talk. Now I can speak, but before I couldn't speak. Like I would see you and I'll be shy around people and not speaking.
Not now.
But so I left, I took my kids. We live in an abusive marriage. I resigned my job and I took my kids and moved away. And I went to a retreat, it's in my 40s here. Went to this retreat and this woman was talking about, and I looked there and I'm like, oh, she's telling my story.
Wow.
Why is she telling my story? Because again, thinking from a child, I was the only one. Wasn't nobody else.
Yeah.
Nobody else will have my story. She had my story.
Wow.
And that
That's
made
what
me to realize that somebody is telling my story. So then I'm not the only one. And I mean, I had this, I call her like my mother, somebody who I could have talked to. And she was the first person I told my story about. We were driving in the car. So when we went for this retreat, she would drive one night, I would drive one night. And this night, thank God, she was driving. And I started crying. And that was the first time in my 40-something years that I cried and I could tell someone. And she was like that mother to me, and I don't want to cry now. But
You can cry. That's okay. You got
I,
tissue. You
I
got tissue.
told her about my story. She was the first person in all my life that she listened to me. She really, and she is that person out in my life I can go to, and she's like that mother. But after I did that, I told myself, okay, I'm going to tell my mom. My mom didn't believe me. She didn't think about, But I always hold on to this woman.
Why is that the parents don't believe, or the adults?
Hey, it's an island thing, I can say. And I tell people that it's an island thing because here with my kids growing up here, I was telling somebody touch you, somebody teach you inappropriately, or not even tell you something that you don't like to speak, tell me, or speak up. So
but before I used to think it was an island thing because it was maybe the islands are worse, but even here too, because sometimes the kids are still afraid to speak up. I know I was afraid to speak up, and I think a lot of times too, it's because it's people that we know.
Yeah,
the abusers sometimes it's the neighborhood something's moving. Ooh, something walking on there, coming over there.
Yeah,
it's a spider or something. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay. I think it's hiding. Okay, guys. I have a phobia for bugs. I really don't like bugs. And everybody knows that. But it's we just the people, or someone that's close to you,
yeah,
or someone that your family knows, or someone that I may have to get up and get this bug, babe. It's right there by my red shoes. And it just distract me. Sorry, I bind you in Jesus' name. And we are afraid to speak, and we carry that with us for years. And a lot of times we put this fear in our children, because for me, when I had not spoken about it, it's ready. I had not spoken about it, but then I did not allow my daughter to go anywhere, or even my boys. I was always afraid that something bad was going to happen to them, but it was because of what happened to me, and because it was someone I knew. Yeah. Because that I'm afraid, I'm not going to send you anywhere, And then let me take a glass of wine now that the bug is dead.
Yeah, and what he's saying is true, because the abusers is people who you know. And my abuser was somebody who comes into a household, and it's that you know that person, and
Yes.
But yeah, as you were saying, it's really true. You can't speak about that.
Yeah. And later on, we're going to talk to you guys about something that we have coming up, because even just like the show say, if I can, you can, and my show is real talk, real issues, real people. A lot of times we try to cover things, hide things, and but it's still, I see, just like this bug, it went under the shoe, but I knew it was still there, so it did not go away. That's how someone, we can't just always hide things. We have to be real, talk about it, open up about it, because your story is not just for you. Your story could help somebody else. It could literally save somebody, so that is why we have this.
As you said that, I remember I spoke about my issue, and a woman, somebody met me, and she's like, I'm happy that you told your story, because I was so scared to even talk about what happened to me.
And that's a grown woman, right?
A grown woman, and she said, I was so scared to talk about it. But I thank you for sharing your story, because your story is my story.
Wow. Yeah, so we gotta, guys, we gotta, ladies, men, we gotta speak up, whatever it is that you've been through. And if you feel like you've been abused, you've been molested, you've been raped, and you're okay with it, you don't want to talk about it, that's okay. But a lot of times these things hinder us so much more than we know, and unless you talk about it and release it, then the problem remains. And that's why we have the show, to empower women. When we were able to release it and let it go, that was part of the time that we got our power back, we got our strength back, and now we share our story. And that's not all we do, but that's part of what we do to empower, encourage women, because a lot of times that keep you stuck. You can be stuck. There's so much more that you can be doing because you were shy. But now after once you get released and stuff, now you have your own TV show. You travel to Africa, which we're gonna talk later on, and you're doing so much, So, but guys, we let me see. We have so much to talk about. We have so much to talk about.
You're talking about. So now I would just want to know about you. I know I met you just like it's a couple years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I understand you came from Dominica and you came here as a child, right?
Yeah.
And so can you tell me a little bit more about you coming here? How did it impact you? Because I know you left your family behind,
Yeah, so when I came to the U.S., it was really hard for me, but I knew that I was coming to get a better life. And it's not that my country is the worst. It's just that there was not a lot.
Yeah.
And even my parents and the people in the village tell me, like, you know what, Cooley Street was not enough for me. I needed to be in a bigger country, a bigger city for real. I think it was like maybe 18 or something like that. And but I knew there was so much more that I could do, and it wasn't around for me, So it was really hard. I cried a lot. The first time I went, I didn't stay. I came back. I was like, Then I came back another time, and that time I was in Chicago, and I was living with a Caucasian family. And I mean, they treated me like I was a princess, and it was just amazing. But I was like, I didn't like it that much, so I ran away. I ran away back to Dominica because I went on vacation. I said, I want to go home for Christmas, and then I never went back to Chicago. So I went back to New York, New Jersey. I stayed in New York. I stayed in New Jersey. And it was a very hard time. And I say, like, some people, even when they come here, they may have family that they can go to and stuff like that. But even if I had my family, it's not like they had everything they needed. So it was still a struggle for me. I went to Wilfred Beauty Academy. That's where I started school. I wanted to be a beautician. And that's a whole other story because I quit because of what someone told me that I couldn't do it, and that's not what I need to do. Lord Jesus. But God brought me back. But I remember even I had to go to school, but I had to work to take care of myself, and I did babysitting, which I didn't last for very long. And I had to catch like 2 buses and walk a long distance. And I thank God for His protection because I was new to the U.S. and I don't think I even have spoken much about that. There was a time when I went to classes because I would work in the day and go to class in the night. And then my uncle would always come and pick me up because class would be over at 10 o'clock. And then I can't remember the whole story, but I remember a time that my uncle was late. And then it was in a bus or a car. They pulled up and it seemed like they were watching what was happening because they knew it was my uncle. And they said that he couldn't pick you up tonight, so he came to pick you up. And I'm like, no, my uncle would never do that. Nope. And then I waited there, and it's just that something had happened where he was late. And I'm glad because then later on, there was my uncle. My uncle's like, I don't know nothing about that. So that was scary. I don't think he ever was ever late after that, But it was, I think a lot of it I blocked it out as well because, that is where some things happened to me in New York and New Jersey and I also think that I blocked some stuff off from back home as well.
We do block as kids. We do block, and I still.
And I felt like the thing is though, not just about the blockers. I felt like it was my fault. I was like, okay, you're a teenager. This happening to you that you wanted it, you asked for it.
As a child, it's the same thing too. And so the thing about it in abuse as a child, you always think it's your fault.
Yeah.
It's not. You're not going to think it's not your fault as somebody else. You thinking it's your fault, even as an adult, even in a marriage. I thought when my husband called me all different names and stuff like that, it's my fault. What did I do wrong, or what did I,
And you try to fix it. You try to not be the name they call you.
Right, you fix it. So
praise God for freedom. But we've been set free. We'll just tell you guys the story, but we're good. We're good. We'll tell you the story to empower you. But yeah, it was. But I thank God that. My mom and I keep in touch, and then I keep in touch with my family, my brother who has gone on to be with Jesus, rest in peace, my favorite brother Fabian. I would talk to him and stuff like that. So But that, and guys, you will get to hear our full story, which I'm going to talk to you real, my wonderful husband and our minister of the back, I don't know what you call it, was going to put up a flyer. We want to tell you our first women's retreat is going to be the ending of March 2022. And guys, it's going to be an awesome time. We're going to have fun, food, fellowship. And you guys know a fashion designer. I don't do an event without a fashion show. So ladies, there's only going to be 24 spots. So you better, I think maybe quite a few of it is already taken because just us. So we'll have the fashion show. We're going to have, and I'm looking at a place that where it's in the mountains and stuff like that. It's in Georgia, but you guys will know later on. I don't know if I will advertise it, but we'll let you guys know. We're gonna have empowering speakers. We'll talk about businesses, and what it is going to be for women that have been abused, women that have whether it's sexual, emotional, verbal, that have been abused, but they did not let what happened to them stop them. Today they have businesses. It's also for women that you may have been abused and now you want to start your own business, or you just started your own business. That is what it is about, because it's a women in business retreat. We're taking back our power. And that's why I say that a lot of times the things that happen to you is to help empower another woman. Because now we have that retreat. We're going to get together Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have a fashion show. We have a formal dinner. We have brunch. And we're going to talk to each other, just open up. It's just going to be women. We're going to talk about our experiences. And I know it's going to be really, really, really powerful. And just those of us that have the business, we can empower those that are just starting. And I am so excited. I'm looking forward to it.
We really need that, really, truly. We need that because for me, I'm always a sticker for the poor. This is me. I will walk the road with the poor, with the less fortunate, I always say. Because this is what God put me on this earth to do. So my struggles is to help others, to help others. And I know in my journey, I met a lot of women who cannot come out of their own rut, but hearing their stories. So what you're doing is really, really, really great because these women need it.
Yes.
They need it. And it's like having somebody to mentor them or hearing other woman's story to see, hey, look, I alone wasn't there. Because the same way we think about it, that was we alone or we were the one at fault, these women are still in that rut, even though they have their kids. And I have a story I could share. I'm not going to call names, but I met a woman once, a mom, and she had like 12, 13, 14 kids. Wow. And she just felt that it's not going from this one to that one, to the other husband, to the other man. But all the kids were not one father. Wow. And so when you listen to her, she's still running to this day. Yeah. Because she has all these kids and she can't do, but the kids are so struggling. So we can find women like that who we can say, hey, you can build a legacy.
Yes, yes.
You can build a legacy in anything you want to do because your talents. Yeah. We all have talents. God give us a talent.
And then that's what it is, because a lot of times we have women, and not just women, but our heart is for women, and they have this talents, they have these gifts, and they don't know how to even get it out. And that's one of the things I do, even as I don't really like the word coach, so I call myself the initiator. So I'm going to be the initiator coach that I help you realize what your dream is, and sometimes you may just it doesn't take a whole lot. If you say, I want to be an entrepreneur, I don't even know where to start. There's so many different businesses that you can start, and that's what we want to do, to empower women and to encourage them that, you can do it. A lot of times, because of the abuse that we went through, we let it stop us. I was so verbally abused that, guys, can you see this fabulous, beautiful face? This size, what is my size? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere over there. That I was told that I was a fat. Some of the words that go with that, I was ugly and I was this and I mean for years, and it was, and I have forgiven the person who said it. They did not I'm not making excuses for them. Sometimes hurt people, but that's what happened to me. And I did fashion shows. I mean, I went to Paris, I went to New York, and people would see me smiling, and they did not know the pain that I was going through, the hurt that even when I smiled, I felt ugly. I felt fat. I would try to hold my stomach in. I would try not to. And, I took care of myself because I wanted to be fit and healthy, but it was constantly, I would cut my hair, I would let it grow, I would do, even right now I'm showing my gray, I had to be like, you know what, I need to be bold. And even doing my hair like this, naturally, before I would feel like it was something wrong. You don't show your gray, you don't do this. And now I'm like, I am walking in my power. I am who God created me to be. Yeah. But the little voices still comes back, because I would still sometimes hear name calling, and I will hear it, and I was like, you know what? I have to speak to myself and say, no, this is not what God said I am. This is not, and then just continue to walk in it. So I know that it's a struggle out there, and that's why we want to help.
And you talked about being called fat, and I remember when I was growing up, because of my abuse, I was like fat. They call me fatty, tabalad, all this.
They call me blackie.
All kind of different names, and it was like, and you saying that now, it just bring back that memory, and so I'll be that child who will always be walking by myself because I'm getting abused, and then your friends calling you names. So I just shut friends off. Few friends I will have, but you get abused from your own friends too. So you saying that, so I could identify with being called all different names, fatty, and then you go into a marriage and you have that weight that so I wasn't like who I am now, but the thing about it, they call you, like, even though I will go exercise, I'll do stuff, but still, because of the hurt and the pain, the weight didn't go away. Yeah. And so I could identify with what you're saying and see, like, look at, you never knew that about me.
No.
You never knew that was one of my struggles.
Wow.
Right? It was one of my struggles. Like, people's fatty. And up to this day, people will call and say, oh, fatty, I remember you, and as a child, that hurts. That hurts, and as an adult, and you go to a marriage, it's the same thing. It hurts. So
words have power.
What we're doing now is that we have so many women out there now, and you know what? What the matter you have to embrace what you have. Before I didn't embrace, I break the curves. I embrace
Exactly,
that's like I have to embrace it now. I can say I love me, no matter what brokenness I have, and I tell my Karen the same thing. You gotta love whatever you have.
Yeah, you have to love it and accept it, and do like me. Like, I just pray over my butt because I want it to grow. And that butt is just like, nope, you got all this stuff, That's how. But then, like, people, you pray. If you want your hair to grow, pray over it. You want, I literally do. I just like, okay, God, I could do a little bit less up here and a little bit more here. And that's something I have to do. But still, we have to embrace who we are. But because of, and now it's kind of worse because the social media and all this, different stuff. Yeah. So that's why we want to even not just empower adults, but even women. We both have nonprofits, and we're going to be talking about that. That we both work with. I have the girls group. That if we can train them even while they're young, because sometimes you don't even understand the stuff that the kids go to, they hear in school, and the stuff that their other friends, say to them.
Yeah,
so imagine even us as adults, some of these things still hurt us what we went through as a child. Imagine this young kids going through that. So guys, we're going to go into a quick break, and we're going to put on a commercial, and when we come back, we will be at a table. So we'll be talking about the project that we're doing for Dominica, and then once we are done with that, that's going to be like a really quick, we're going to show you guys that real quick, and then we'll come back and talk about our nonprofits. Okay, welcome back. If you just come in, this is Imagine Me TV, and we are here in the studio. And this is my friend Debra, and she's my friend, my sister. We do business together. She has a show on the platform as well. We do charity work together. She volunteers with me, and I will be volunteering with her. She wants me to go to Ghana, but this we're still thinking about that. That is a really long trip, so. But we're just gonna just show you guys what it is that we're working on right now for Dominica. But even I want to give a shout out to this is you guys can see it. Okay, so and this is from Love Him, Love Them Ministry. So this bead, I see like this. I'm just gonna read what's it. Handmade in Haiti, sealed with a heart. The bead in your new jewelry. Well, this is actually an ornament, and my friend Linda Hunter, thank you very much for all that you're doing and helping us and partnering with us. But they make this jewelry, but this one is an ornament, and they make it from trash. Over here, we see recycled material by young ladies in Haiti, and the name of the ministry is Love Him, Love Them. So all the proceeds from the beads, they have jewelry, they have necklaces, but these are Christmas ornaments. Every purchase that you make will help educate, empower, and encourage these young ladies as they transition from their orphanage to become active members of society. So this is really, really awesome. I don't know if you guys can see it. And if you go to lovehimlovethem.com, you can find it, you can order it. That's why I order mine online. You can order it on here. Okay. So, what we have here right now, so as you see from all the end, the table goes all the way to the end there, and I'm going to take a couple bags.
These are the bags
so these are the bags, and we went to Livonia yesterday. And from Love Him, Love Them, so we have this bags, and there's a lot of little goodies in there. What's in yours, Debra?
So mine, we have coloring books, toothpaste, the stickers for Christmas. This is the muddy parties for the kids. So these are for young kids. Toothbrushes too. So these are for kids between 4 and 5, 6. So
so we have there's deodorant in there. There's there's socks in there. Just a bunch of some of them have flip flops. We have 100 of these bags, and then we have the toys, which this week we are gonna send it to Dominica. This week, yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're also trying to raise the funds that we need to ship these items. There's really pretty little teddy bears. I have a few more stuff to get for the older girls. But right over here, and I'm not sure if you guys can see, but I'll just grab some of it.
So the sanitary pads for young ladies, and even mothers, and because sometimes we have families that have mothers, and I did share this with a family, and the mom called me and she said thank you, because you know what, it saved her money and she could have used it with her daughters. So this is really good.
We have a table full over here. I don't know if you can see it, if we can put the camera in a little bit. And I know the light is not the best here because we have to turn the lights around. But see, so right here, I'm going to make sure that we send, that way all the young ladies that has a menstrual cycle, they will get pads. So I want to say thank you to Period Company for partnering with us. They send us, I ordered this pads from them, so that way we are able to give all the young girls pads. So we'll be sending all of this to Dominica as well, sending the pads, sending the toys, and then next year we do school supplies, and we have something amazing that's coming up, but I'm not going to tell you about it yet. Next year you guys will hear more about it, and everybody's going to be really happy. So we're going to go back on set, and we're just going to go into another quick commercial break, and this is about telling you, guys, if you want to have your own show, I'm telling you, if I can, you can. If she can, you can. Real talk, real issue. It is really simple, and we're gonna give you the idea where if you want to have your own show, give us a call and we'll set you up. Okay. guys, we are back. We are back. We are back. So thank you for your patience. So even as we just came out from the other side, Restore to Empower is an organization that we work with at risk and troubled youth, and we have like three different areas that we work with. We also work with women that have been abused, which you guys know. Based on my experience and stuff, I like to give back to women, give back to kids as well. And we have another branch that is not very active yet, but that's we try to help military families because, as you guys know, I have a son that's in the military. So we try to help them. And the reason I even have an organization right now is because of my son and my daughter. We used to do that work when they were younger in Ohio, and when I came to Georgia in 2015, they kind of encouraged me and pushed me on their birthday. They were like, Mom, instead of having a party for us, why don't you just cook? Because they both were born around Thanksgiving. They're like, why don't you just take that money and prepare meals for the homeless? And that was in 2013 or 2014. And we've been doing that ever since. We also have the Imagine Me TV Girls Club, and you saw that out there where we work with young girls. We teach them sewing, we teach them cooking, we teach them to start their own business, jewelry, and a bunch of different things that we do. But we know we do not have a whole lot of time, so I want to say thank you very much to all of our donors, to all those that have donated, those that have given us, whether it's toys or your time, money. We're trying to raise $500 we want to ship those barrels and stuff to Dominica, and say a prayer that we'll get it done this week and it will reach Dominica before Christmas. So please, those that we got pray for favor and pray that we will get all the monies that we need to ship it. So I just want to say thank you. And as the year is ending, I've had just different support. Just my friend over there in Ohio, Miss Debra, has been a great support to me. My other friend, Dr. Etienne, and her foundation. My church, Kingdom Restoration Ministry, and many of the members there. Just so many people that have just been a blessing to us, my cousins, some of my family. And I just want to say thank you, because a lot of this that I cannot do it without you. My sister-in-law in New York, my dear husband that has done even his time, his money, his talents, and I know next year is going to be even greater. So guys, if you want to hop on and be one of our partners and support Restore to Empower, we would appreciate it. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that has supported us. And don't forget, for women that retreat next year, you don't want to miss that. It's going to be an amazing retreat. The place that we're looking at is awesome, and we're going to be away for 3 days. Put away the cell phone and all this stuff. There's no stores close by, so I can't go shopping. But I'm going to just go over to my friend Debra, and just want to say thank you for being there. Thank you even yesterday going with me and helping as well. You went to Ghana this year. Tell us a little bit more about your trip in Ghana, helping the orphanage and the people over there.
I went to two places. So this summer, in June, I went to Benin, Cotonou, Benin first, to help with an orphanage out there, which was really, what I love about it is that I look at, they are all God's children, but when I enter Africa, the first thing they said, welcome home.
Wow.
And it's like you got home, and it's like I feel like I was in the Caribbean. It's like I'm in the Caribbean, but you know what struck me when it was 20 hours flight, okay? But the thing that struck me is when I knew I was in the Caribbean is when I said I need to take a bath. And they brought me a bucket of water. The water was cold.
That was the Caribbean many years ago.
Many years ago.
Now, yeah.
But they still have places in the Caribbean that still doesn't have like hot water and stuff like that. But so it brought me back home, but I cried because I know I came from a place but I valued it. You know why I valued it? Because here in America, I live here, I have everything at my beck and call, I can do anything. But then I think about how many other kids out there who doesn't have running water, who cannot go to school. And I saw it. I walked it, I saw it.
Wow.
You see the kids, and the kids were so happy to see me. It's like, when are you going to come back? When are you going to have? Today, they still text me, call me. No, how could I help? Could I go to America? No, you can't because we can't
Oh,
bring them all here.
yeah.
So the goal is to, how can I help? God, how can I help? And the children are the future. The hurtful part for me is seeing 15, 12-year-old, 10-year-old pregnant.
Oh my God.
Okay? That's how you see children outside on the streets with their food, on their head, their moms with the kids in the back in the nighttime, in the night market, selling stuff. Like, these kids cannot go to school. We here have it so much. We here are so blessed that the kids go to school for free. These kids cannot go to school. You know why? If their parents cannot afford for them to pay that $20 or how much they pay, the kids have to go and work.
Wow.
So some of these kids can. They have like a dumb woman who I met, deaf and dumb. She has like 10 kids. She's been abused like by men, and it's like, So being I was in Benning, I saw all like children walking the streets, the pigs and the dogs and the cats and everything living in, they live in their homes. So our goal is to go back to Africa and see what we can do. Like have the orphanage, one orphanage that need registering, and daily kids of people leaving their kids on the side of the street. In Benning, we went to that orphanage. One of the little girls to my heart, happy birthday, Immaculate. They picked her up on the side of the street.
Wow.
When you see the kids when you get in there, and if you go on my page, on my Facebook page, you can see photos with that.
What's the name of your Facebook page? Tell them the page.
So go and since we have Benning Ghana mission, you could go onto there and you're gonna see like pictures of what's going on with the kids. Or we have the Ghana school project, and you go onto that and you're gonna see.
Tell us more about that though.
They uploaded thing to that. So in Ghana, it was so fortunate, I was blessed that I went looking at a piece of land. This is a project that didn't start it now. It started in 2015. Okay. It was a dream of mine. I'm going to tell you this. My mom and my grandmother can read and write.
Okay.
I always say education. We need to have education. We need to be educated. I remember my grandmother was 15, 16 when she said, you got to learn to cook and do housework. And to this day, me, I don't like that. I'm not a housewife. I'm not a cook. I always wanted to make sure I get an education. And she said, no, you're a woman. A woman should be able to go out and learn to cook or sew. That's right. My brother's the tailor. I am not. So from then I decided I'm going to get an education and my siblings going to get an education. I wasn't to go to college. That was my choice.
Okay.
My choice so that my siblings can get. For me, I did the secretarial, I did technical school, and I ended up working in the government service. But let's say that short, I decided that was my choice and my siblings. So I always said, in honor of my grandparents and my mom, I would build a school. Okay. Never knew where I would build that school.
Wow.
Joyful Hearts is a project of mine because coming out here, I'm CRS certified. I did, all these different courses that I like to stick up for the poor. I like walking on the streets with the poor. I don't mind going out there and sit on the streets with them. So the school, when I met this priest and he said, you're going to build a school? And I said, yes. And I'm okay.
Sorry.
And he said, okay, you're going to come to Africa. And the school name was named that. And I ended up going to Africa this summer with my blessed friend who called me and said, you're going to Africa? I said, no, I didn't have the money. He said, okay, you're going to Africa. He bought my tickets and I went to Africa. That was one of the best things any gift that anybody could give to me. So we went and looked at a piece of land, and when I walked in, we walked at two pieces of land. When I walked to the land that we were looking at, since 2015, we thought the land was sold. And the owner of the land went and he bought me the deed, the land, and he said, I will sell you this land to build a school. Wow. And that's how our project started.
Wow.
Building that school.
So the next year you're going to
our projected time is June 2022. We're going to go break ground.
Okay.
So we break ground in June 2022. But now we are working on, and God has blessed us. We have an architect, we have other nonprofits that came together with us. And so we are working on that. Right now, we're just waiting on the approval from the land, from the Ghana ministry. So that's what we do. And Joyful Hearts too is another ministry. So through Joyful Hearts, the school is going to be, part of that. But here in Georgia, what we do too, we help minority kids in college. But we're going to take it a little class because what I realize now that Arthlene have kids that come in, and some of these kids are real less fortunate.
Yeah.
So we can team up with other people in the county, in 2 different counties, and help them. What I realize is that they have so many kids who wants to go to school, wants to do something more, but it's not only getting a college degree. Their parents and all are not educated, right? Their parents have all these kids. One little boy, and I would always tell people this story. This little boy, in the summer, we go in the summer here, and I know in New York too, because I lived in New York and all over the country, that they don't have breakfast.
Wow.
They don't have breakfast and lunch.
It's
They have
amazing
dinner.
that right here, this thing is
Dinner,
happening. We have
right?
so much.
Because the kids are in school and they
Mhm.
get school lunches.
Yeah.
When they're out of school, they don't. So in the summer, we were going to these trailer parks and these homes and giving. This young little boy, he said, "My mom has all these kids. I need extra food." And I'm like, "Why do you need all this extra food?" Found out his mom had 15 of them.
Wow.
So these kids
Ooh.
are always hungry. You can buy 15 kids
Yeah,
in this
that's
time, right?
15. That's
So
right.
he went in. He wanted to be a policeman so bad. He wanted to be a policeman so bad. And when I got a police officer, and every time I talk about him, I cry. When I get the police officer to come to this little guy, young guy, they were gone.
Wow.
No phone number, no connection. The phone number I had was disconnected. Nobody knew where they were. And that made us Joyful Hearts to come in and help minority kids like him, that 12-year-old who wanted to go to this landmark school, who wanted to do so much stuff in life, and he can do it. So
Wow.
Joyful Hearts. So what we're going to do now, help these young kids either from a trade or whatever their passion are, we find them. We have some who wants to go to college. We make sure that they complete college. Through that program, we are successful with a young lady. If you go onto joyfulhearts.com .org on Facebook, you're going to see pictures of her. She's going for her master's now, and she's doing pretty well. So we
Wow.
already have that young lady. So this is going to go over to Ghana, and we're going to be doing it in thing. And what do I have? So one of my business, what I do as a travel agent, and I know people out there, we're going to start doing trips, like if you have group trips or you have mission trips you want to do in other countries or anywhere, we're going to plan those trips for you, and a percentage of the money goes to the organization. We can help Restoring Power, but one of the things is to help these kids get, further their education and do something better in their lives, even helping build a school in Ghana. So any money you proceeds that go, a percentage of that goes back to the nonprofits.
Very good. Very good. Wow. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
And hopefully I'll be in Ghana.
You are
Gratefully. It's just maybe I'll get me some sleeping pills and I'll just sleep.
It's gonna be a lot of us. It's not gonna be just us alone. So it's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So anyway, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. And that is why we do what we do, just empowering women, empowering our community, and having this talk show, not because we just want to talk, because I did not like to talk. I didn't like being out there only because of some of the fears I had. Same thing with my friend, but just we have stories to tell. And if she can, then you can. If I can, and sometimes maybe one person not listening to you. A lot of times, sometimes people ask me, well, how many listeners do you have? I don't even worry about how many listeners I have, because I remember that in the Bible, it talk about Jesus going back for that one sheep. Yeah. Sometimes you may give a word and just one person get it. It was for that person. So even eventually things will grow. But I just want to encourage someone that's listening, that no matter what it is that you're going through, know that it's gonna get better. Know that if she can, you can. If I can, if my husband can. Many of us, we're not even from this country, and we came here. We had to make a life for ourselves. And today, look at us. We have nonprofits. We're helping other people. So I just want to, say, Deb, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I know she have a lot of story to tell. I have a lot of story to tell, and it's just, but we'll get that time on
On
the
the
ending
tree.
of
Yeah, March.
March, the retreat. We'll be able to talk. We'll be able to cry together, pray with each other. So if you don't know, you can go back and watch this. We'll have the flyer out for our retreat. So save that date. It's what's the date?
March.
March 25th, 26th, 27th. I believe, and we have a flyer there. You can look at the flyer. But again, if someone ever tell you that you're too tall, you're too short, you're too fat, you're too this, you're too that, hey, guess what? We're gonna put you in the wrong way. We're gonna show them that God created each and every one of us in His likeness and in His image. We're gonna have fashion show. We're gonna eat. We're gonna drink. We're gonna drink water and milk and coffee. Ooh, this was some good wine. And we just, this is what life is about. It's not that serious. Let's take it one day at a time. And one of the things I encourage you, if you don't have a relationship with Jesus, I'm telling you, this is one of this is what keeps me going. Knowing that I can pray, knowing that I can, when I go through this trials and tests, because it comes like pretty much every day, that I can call on the name of Jesus, that I can say, God, sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm on this show and the internet goes bomb or something happened and I have to just trust God. So I just want to encourage you that no matter what you're facing, no matter what you're going through, that God is able. And also your dreams are possible. That is something that Les Brown says, and I love it. Your dreams are possible. So know that every one of us, that God created us with a purpose. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot do this and you cannot do that. If they say that to you, say, hey, maybe you cannot do it. But if God told me I can do it, I'm going to try. So once again, our time has come and gone. And I was trying to find some information. Let's see. Next week, we're going to have Mr. Vince Morris. He's an accomplished songwriter, a pianist, who is a forerunner in the soaking music genre. He sent us a video which we played on our Thanksgiving concert, and it was pretty awesome. And he's done some work I think in Hollywood and stuff like that. He's gonna be here next week, and hopefully we get him to sing for us. He's gonna come to the studio, so be on the lookout. And again, this week we are sending toys and sanitary napkins and little packages of toothpaste and flip-flops and underwears, and just to Dominica to send to the children. So we're trying to raise the funds to ship those barrels because they ain't cheap. It's a lot of money to ship it, but we need your support. So you can go to restoretoempower.org if you want to support. But we just want to say thank you. And we are here every Sunday at 8 p.m. and her show is on Saturdays. And she's going to come back in January, and then so you'll be able to hear more about her story, and she has some amazing guests on there. So we just want to say thank you. And I know we had announced that we're going to do a year-end concert, and that's still in between somewhere, so I'm not really sure, but I'll let you guys know this week if we're still going to do that concert. And one more thing, we in the next couple weeks for Christmas as well, normally we would give toys to the kids here, but we're not doing that. We'll be giving out food boxes to some of the families that we work with, about 20 of them that we're sponsoring. But there is a special family, there's 14 of them, and we're going to really just love on this family. We have different churches that's going to come together, different organization, her boss and her nonprofit. We're gonna come together, and we're gonna make sure they have the food, their clothes that they need. We're gonna just do a little get together with them and pour into them, minister to them, love on them. So if you want to be a part of that, let me know, because we just want to help this wonderful people and show them the love of God. So this is, let Debra just give a couple closing words, and then we're gonna knock this out.
Okay, I want to say thank you for having me on tonight, and it's a blessing, and thank you for our our producer, man of everything, that for the one who has this show running for us while we
has a lot of talent.
Talents, and for all what he's doing for the community too. And I want to thank, I'll leave a word, and Arthlene said, when you go out there, no matter whatever you do, anything you do, put God first. For me, I look at my life, and every time I drive in my car, I sometimes I wonder, why am I here? Why did I come to this country? Why did I leave everything I had? But it was a purpose. God put me here because what I'm doing now, if I was in Trinidad, I would not be able to do it.
Wow.
But I'm here now because it's God. So always put God first. In the morning when you wake up, the first thing you do, you thank God for waking you up this morning. You thank God. Because I remember the days when I didn't have the money or I didn't have anything. But when I got up on that morning and I said, thank you, God, for whatever little I have, raising 3 kids as a single mom, right?
Yeah, he's a
In
way
a
maker.
country where I have family, as Arthlene said before, you had family, but family is not there.
Yeah.
So I tell you, get out there. Don't matter what you're doing, don't matter what's going through, even though you may have a lot or you may have a little, just say thank God, but make sure you go back and give back to someone.
Yes.
You see a poor person on the street, you give it to them, you give them a smile, because you never know if that's Jesus walking on the street right
That's
now.
right. Yes.
So go back and give to someone. And that's
Amen.
what we do. But the little we have, we give it back.
Yes.
So I just pray for you guys today that you just go back and give on it. And at this time in the Christmas season,
yes,
just love on each other.
Yes, because the one thing we know is like so many, and I said it in church this morning, so many people are hurting. We know with the pandemic and the COVID, a lot of families, some people lost their husband, they lost their wife. I lost my dad. People lose children. So it's a really tough time for people right now. So extend a little more grace, extend a little more love. You see someone in the grocery store and they may be struggling, they may need some money. And one of the things that sometimes people do, they're like, oh, I'm not going to give the homeless person money. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that because I don't know what they're going to do. Do drugs. You know what? Just be obedient. If God speaks to you to do it, just be obedient and do whatever they do with it. It's not our business. If God say, help this person, help them. Because you never know somebody's story. So I just encourage us, and not just for the rest of the year because of the season, but you may see someone, and everybody's going through something. So I just encourage you to help, to just be of a good help. And I want to thank everyone, all our listeners, even on Clubhouse. Hey sis, I see you out there in Clubhouse. Thank you very much. Love the encouragement. On Imagine Me TV, on LinkedIn, on Live You Are, Roku, Amazon Fire. We just want to say thank you to each and every person, and continue to pray, okay, we need to go a little, continue to just lift us up. And if there's anything that we can do for you, if you want to volunteer, if you want to know what are some of the projects and the stuff that we have coming up, just let us know, and we will definitely give you all that information. And our show has come to an end, but I think we having maybe just a little technical difficulty. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we normally we end the show with with our ticker and whatever, but I think there's something happening in the background that we can't figure out. Okay. It's happening here too, but okay. So we are going to end the show, but I just want to say thank you and God bless you. And if you're on Facebook or YouTube, just share this video, and so someone may need to hear a word of encouragement. They may need to know what's going on. Just share this video. And if you want to be a guest on the show, on Debra's show on Saturday or my show on Sunday, go ahead and just shoot us an email, send us a message, or just ask somebody about us. They'll give you that information. Or you can go, if you go to restarttoempower.org, you can send us an email from there. Deb, give them your email address.
If you go to Deb's, if I can, you can @gmail.com, and you just give me a message, or hit me up on Facebook, Debra Filbert. You message me. You can see, or I'm on Clubhouse too, or on TikTok. Anywhere you are, just message me, and I will just respond back to you.
Okay, so this is Imagine Me TV, real talk, real issue, real life. I am your host, Arthlene Lawrence, saying good night and God bless you guys.